But we're going to start out with the hot takes, and Bart, you are the chosen one to begin. So you're gonna give your hot take, and then we're all gonna have a rebuttal. So let's hear it. What do you have for us?
So my hot take this week is that Kirk Cousins is a top 8 NFL quarterback. The context for this, Kirk is like always slept on, it seems, but there's recent context in two forms. Firstly, in the Madden rankings, he was slept on and he was not a top 10 quarterback. And then ESPN recently put out a list of their top 10 quarterbacks for 2020, and he was also not in the top 10 there. They picked Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Rodgers, Watson, Breeze, Lamar Jackson, Brady, Wentz, Dak, and then Matthew Stafford. And I just don't understand this. It just doesn't make sense to me. Kirk is better than at least a few of those guys. This is going to be a very stats focused argument. So his 26-6 touchdown ratio, excellent. His yards per attempt at 8.1, also excellent, 7th in the league. His 69% completion percentage is elite. Of all the players I listed earlier, only Drew Brees was better. Only Drew Brees. And his touchdown percentage of 5.9% is also elite, 6th in the league. It's better than Watson, better than Brady, better than Wentz, better than Dak. I mean, come on now. And I know, lastly, PFF grades need to be taken with a grain of salt. I mean, kind of all the stats do, but they grade him at 84.3, fourth best quarterback in the league. Fourth best. And somehow Madden and ESPN don't think that he's in the top 10 in the league. They take like Matthew Stafford over Kirk Cousins. Are you kidding me? Listen, I love some of these quarterbacks as like people, and I wouldn't mind having them on my team. But I think Kirk is better, and I think he gets slept on quite a bit. So that's my take.
I love your ultra specific take as a top 8 quarterback. I think that's cute. But if I'm looking... I'm absolutely taking Matthew Stafford over Kirk Cousins because I have him listed as my number 8 quarterback. If I go from top to bottom real quick, I have Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan, and then Matthew Stafford to hit 8 on my list there. All better talents than a guy like Kirk Cousins who can't even finish on a Monday night, let alone in the playoffs.
What?
So how many of those stats you came on a Monday or a Thursday?
I mean,
0.
To come to Bart's defense.
Hold on. This is my turn.
Okay, sorry.
This is my 1 minute to
go.
Kirk Cousins has already reached his ceiling. I mean, if you just look at the young guys that are in the league, they're going to be better than Kirk Cousins, if not already better than Kirk Cousins. But you just listed
Matt Ryan
Bart,
and
this is my
Stafford.
minute. Matthew Stafford is a far superior arm talent to any Kirk Cousin lookalike out there.
All right, that's your opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with White as well on that one. I didn't have Matthew Stafford in front of him, but I think, we have like Russell, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, and Breeze, and then I would put Wentz, Dak, Deshaun Watson ahead of him as well. Like, dude, Kirk Cousins has never thrown more than 30 touchdowns in a season. Like, we can't. Yes, he takes care of the ball, and that's a strength of his. But you need to be able to score a little more, I think, for me to put him ahead of those other guys, and to be the dual threat that like Deshaun Watson or Carson Wentz is. So that's why I would put them ahead.
Interesting. I mean, the Vikes had the 4th most, I think, rushing attempts last season. So they always run the ball. But you can't blame the quarterback for that.
You're right about that. But then the season before that, he had like 606 attempts.
Whereas I don't know where that is like relatively to.
That was the most in his career. That was the most in his career in 2018. But
okay, I mean,
you are right though that he only had 444 attempts, which is pretty small compared to the rest of his career last year. But
I'm gonna disagree with your take, Bart, but I do think you have a point in that ESPN really did do Kirk Cousins dirty. I think what is he on this list? He's 14th or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he only received 2 votes of the voters in this top 10 QB list. Ahead of him are Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Kyler Murray. That seems like a mistake. But with that said, I do think that Kirk Cousins isn't carrying a team and was he's not asked to at the moment. He's never been asked to do that in the past. And I think that's a sign of the fact that a team wouldn't trust him with that responsibility. All of his stats are very good and takes care of the ball. But Ryan Tannehill has the same argument. and you wouldn't call him an elite quarterback. Like Ryan Tannehill led the league in passer rating last year, which is something I learned today. But so like I feel like you could have pretty like elite quarterback stats or like very impressive quarterback stats without being the guy that you'd want on your team in a clutch moment. I think that the Vikes, I would say, are more Dalvin Cook's team than Kirk Cousins' team. But
yeah, interesting.
So I'm going to agree with Bart, and I'll give Wyatt a license to interrupt me at any point because I feel bad. But I tend to actually agree with Bart on this one. I think the guys that you put in the same ballpark as him that would like be ahead of him, potentially taking him out of the top 8 spot, are Wentz, Dak, and Stafford. And I think one thing that Kirk Cousins has over all of them is sort of winning success. Like the Vikes are by no means like have never won a Super Bowl under him, but they're consistently, at least over the past few years since he's been there, or ever. But yeah, they've consistently over the past few years always been making the playoffs and one of the best records in the NFC. Made the NFC Championship a few years back against the Eagles. And that's something that neither Wentz, Dak, or Stafford ever has. Really, Stafford is consistently on the Lions, who are awful. Dak has had one good season.
What?
And Wentz has never even has had one good team season.
And put an asterisk against that one good season anyway.
Oh my god.
Okay, with one good season, their team, and Wentz has never even really played in the playoffs. And he has a sample size of basically one full season. So I don't know.
But Mark Sanchez has the same argument, like the AFC championships, I don't know if that's a
Kirk Cousins at his best. Kirk Cousins at his best is not an MVP level quarterback. Every quarterback that I listed is or will win one.
That
really?
Wait, Kirk Cousins has already hit his ceiling. I bet you Matthew Stafford, he could win one. I don't think he can.
You are just
he plays on a terrible team.
Dude,
Fine,
already
book my
got that
takes.
wild house. He doesn't need anything more. He's out.
Yeah.
He's done.
I would be willing to put triple digits on Dak never winning one, personally.
I would too.
Yeah, I would.
Are you
too.
kidding me? Are you actually serious about that?
I don't know about that. That's a bold
I don't know about that
move,
at
y'all.
all.
As long as Mahomes, Watson, and Lamar Jackson are in the league, no way.
He's the 4th best of those quarterbacks.
I bet you 6 out of the 8 quarterbacks on my list win an MVP. Or they are it's cheating. 4 of them already have one, but
Yeah.
or 5 of them.
Yeah, I do agree though that the 8th spot for best quarterback is, I feel like, very up for grabs. I think the top 7 seem pretty solid. Like when you got Lamar Jackson, Brady, Mahomes, Breeze.
I don't even know about Brady.
Yeah, but
Brady's not in my top 8.
Maybe
Brady's
not next
gonna,
season,
obviously,
but in the past.
this season's gonna be weird, but I don't know.
I mean, their touchdown to interception ratios are pretty similar. 24-8 for Brady and 26-6 for Kirk Cousins.
That's a weird way of saying Kirk is a little bit better.
But it's not a huge. It's not that much better.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Numbers.
But I don't know. I was gonna mention this. Like Kirk lost Diggs. Brady is getting like a completely new and stacked offense. So next season is gonna be really not even comparable between the two of them. But
he got Justin Jefferson.
It's like you don't have confidence in Kirk.
Justin Jefferson's my rookie of the year pick, just so you know.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Okay. But we used to be optimistic when we drafted Laquan Treadwell, and then we know how that
also
ended, so.
By the way, this is undocumented, but years ago I picked Dalvin Cook to win Rookie of the Year, and then of course he got hurt. But just know I'm a believer in the guys that the Vikings draft. So
I need receipts.
All right.
Yeah, I need proof of those.